Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogia Monster here. Welcome to WTF Live Tuesday night. Or no, what are we? Thursday? Thursday night. Damn. Big Rob, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Sorry it's so late. Just got off with Carrie over on Bigfoot Odyssey and Brent Thomas and Mark from Sawdust Beast. Really good show. Hopefully he got some money, travel money, and praise what he's looking for. Carrie, you're doing a great job. Thanks for having me on. Some things I have to address. Don't want to do this, but I'm going to address it. You guys know there's been some friction lately, and hi, Kathy, Lynn, great to see you. I don't do drama. I'm not malicious. There's not a malicious bone in my body. I value myself as being a good person, and I always have. And I would never go out of my way to hurt anybody in any way. And what I'm getting at is, the other Monday I put out a video, decided to go live just for shits and giggles. I was bored. Some other people I thought were bored. I was wrong. And, I tried to do it in a lighthearted way. And it didn't come out that way. And I offended some people. And I'm sorry. I took down the video. I took down both videos. I apologize. If I meant to do that, if I meant to be vindictive, I wouldn't have put up a video, the apology video. I would have been like, deal with it. But I'm not that way, guys. So Nessie, I apologize. I never meant for anything like that to happen. It was not intended, to be malicious or make you look like, as you said, a nagging housewife or whatever. I apologize. I love you. You're one of the funniest people I know. Bomber. I apologized, and I let some things slide last week that maybe I shouldn't, and I went back and I realized I was wrong to let it slide. Guys, I see you guys really enjoy this channel, and I love doing this. I love being and hanging out with you guys. It's awesome. I have my mods, and the mods are there to help creators and keep the peace. And I'm a mod. I know, but mods also get a little power hungry, and they push people around, and I've witnessed it. And somebody came into my chat room the other day that somebody didn't like, and they jumped all over him, and that person did nothing to deserve it. And that person convinced everybody that they were being attacked, and it wasn't right. And yes, Bomber, yeah, we're talking about you. Hetty didn't do a goddamn thing. She didn't say boo, and you threw her out. So you think about that. What kind of person are you? That I messed up. I'm sorry, and it wasn't intentional, but what you did was. And people are going to say that's fucked up, Mogs, but deal with it. I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to call anybody out, but this is my show. Okay. This is my chat. People love the chat. And I don't see why a mod should have the ability to ruin someone's show or cause, grief. I've seen people unsubscribe from chats, from shows because of the mods. I love you guys. It's straight up. But there are some things that, I don't know. It's I screwed up. I admit it. And I want to move on. I want to let this go and just be done with it. But I won't have people in my chat or in my I won't associate with people that are troublemakers or anything like that. I'm not saying you're a troublemaker, but you were out of line. Two wrongs don't make a right between the both of us. Martha, thank you. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, guys. And that's it. I'm done with it. You know, I said I was sorry. You know, I took the video down. It won't happen again. You know, I fucked up. But I'm not saying I'll never fuck up again, but I'll never take a video down again. Sorry. So anyway, how you guys doing tonight? Carrie, thank you so much tonight for having me on. If I didn't address that enough, I don't know how. I'm missing something, and that's on me. So, you know, sorry. Ben, what's going on? Good to see you. Timmy boy, that was a good question you had over there. Didn't get read over on Odyssey, and I forget what it was, but it was a good question. Diane Fowler, great to see you. Professor Orange Juice, what's up, buddy? It's good talking to you earlier. Let's see. So yeah, you guys know how it works. You know, it's a late show. Well, Kerry says he's got a late show. This is a really late show. I mean, shit, it's almost 20 to 1 on the East Coast, and I apologize, but you know what? Here we are. Let me put up this. You guys, anybody wants to come on? You know how it works. Feel free. Email me, anybody, and we'll get you on. You guys want to pick a subject, anything you want to talk to, you want to comment on what I just said, feel free. Let's get it out there. You know. Marcia, thank you. You know, and it's the other thing. It's not about choosing sides. I don't want anybody to choose sides. Oh, I got your back. Oh, you know, it's a misunderstanding. I screwed up. So, you know, don't hate anybody. Don't dislike anybody. You know, don't take a side and think they're wrong or I'm right or they're right. Just forget it. You know, shit happens. Let's get over it. All right. I'm the one going on about it. Question. Where'd that go? I want to post that, Megan, but that'll just stir the shit more. And speaking of stirring shit, you know, I noticed somebody in another social media, you know, make a comment in a group, and you know, they approached someone else and started shit with that person, talking about me. Just don't do that. Carrie, I haven't yet. You know, I don't need troublemakers. I mean, you guys are having such a good time here, and that's all I want for you guys is let's have fun, you know, share your stories. Let's learn from each other. Let's, you know, we're all in this together, and I won't divide. I will not do it. You know, if someone did something wrong, I'll you know, I'll say something. If I did something wrong, I'll fess up to it. So, Carrie, let me do that for you. Hold on, man. You know, some people were saying if he did it once, he'll do it again. It wasn't intentional, guys. You know, I thought it was going to be funny, and it wasn't. When I went and looked back at it, I cringed. I was like, oops. Okay, I get it. I took it down. But it wasn't intentional. I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. There we go. Sounds right, Carrie. So yeah, so that's I had to say this, and please, you know, take it the way you want. If I'm coming off the wrong way, I'm sorry, but I'm done apologizing, Megan. And it's funny that that word came to my head earlier that you put in there about the generation. Hey, Lynn, do you want to come on? Tech. You know what? I've been emailing with this woman, Lynn Parsons. She's in chat, and she's got an amazing story to tell. Well, she has an amazing life. What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
And a dog handler, and her dogs did all sorts of stuff like cadaver dog, and she's been all over the world, but she's also got other some paranormal stories she wants to tell. But yeah, I want to get her on soon. She's really interesting person, I think. Let me just look here. So let me say hi to some other people. Mark popped in. Murray, what's going on? Kathy, of course. Cajun Jules. How you doing, Jules? Scroll up. Larry M says, relax and enjoy. Have a smoke. Excuse me.
There's no excuse for you.
Yeah.
You see, that's what we do.
Cryptids podcast.
That is what we do.
What's going on, buddy? Sorry, I didn't.
No, that's okay. I just want to say that's what you do. When you're friends with someone, you kind of rag on them. Also, you rag on me all the time. It's fine. I'm good with it. I get ragged on a lot, but it's all
in fun.
You have good ones, okay? And my whole thing is, if that is the nature of what's going on, and you tend to take it personally, and your sensibilities are a lot more important to you than the person that's doing that, then you're not really a friend, as far as I'm concerned. You're more concerned with being a victim and treating yourself like a victim than you are the person that's doing it, and understanding the context from where these things are coming from, whether it's true or not. It makes no difference. You're not lying. You may be wrong, but that doesn't make you a liar. That just makes you wrong. Yeah, and you acknowledge that. You apologized for being wrong, and that should have been good enough. And when it's not, then you just got to cut those people loose. Sorry. I hate to say it that way, but
no, I mean,
that's someone who's more concerned.
I'm upset it came to this, dude. And it's
me
my
too.
Own fault.
I am too. And that's someone more concerned with their own tender sensibilities than they're concerned with you. And I worry about you more than I do my own. That's why I let you get away with ragging on me.
Good job on the Eagles, though. Really.
Oh, thanks, man. I thought it sucked really bad. I cannot sing. I'm not, and I prefaced that I am not a singer, but I said I'd sing. We ended up getting over $400 in entries. That was fantastic.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm glad I could help. I donated mine, so
you did.
That's all I can do. I don't have. If I had merch, I'd send you merch too.
I hope you win. That's okay. I hope you win something. I hope you win something. If you win the drone, then you can do whatever you like with it. I've had so many people say, if I win the drone, I'm going to donate it to a researcher. And I think that's just great. A researcher needs it.
Absolutely. That would be great.
We've got two. We don't need two. That's why we're giving one away. Asking people for money is one thing, but giving something back is more important to me. And we do.
And hey, for a $10 entry, that's a good gift. That's a good prize.
Yeah, along with everything else.
Along with
everything else. The Dixie Cryptid stickers, the battery banks, the radios, the T-shirts, the Sasquatch Chronicles shirts and cups that he's going to give away. It's going to be good.
On. I have to.
It's going to be great.
Can you hear that? My stomach's growling. I
Are
was
you
like, "Oh,
hungry?
I haven't eaten.
Go get something to eat,
I was
man.
like, what the hell is that? That was funny.
Why don't you go get something to eat?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm glad you had me on here. I'm up. I'm kind of excited and kind of ramped up and amped up. I've been sick
Well,
for like 2 days.
he also just, came off the air. It's like, you still have that little adrenaline going.
Yeah, that was a good. I was glad we did that way, looking at the videos and breaking those things down. Oh, and the trap from Brent Thomas. That thing's gonna be great. How awesome is that?
I remember that from a while back. That's funny.
No one claimed it. Somebody won.
Somebody won it. Yeah, that's why I was like, is that a new one?
Yeah,
because I remember him having it. That's awesome. Question, where is it? It's Megan, so this should be good. If Sasquatch was a rock and roller, would he listen to timeless sweet guitar licks of Angus Young of AC/DC?
If he was a rock and roller, he would.
Absolutely.
I think you answered your own question, Megan.
Yeah, basically. But keep it coming, Megan. Because
thank you, Ray Doll. That means a lot. I know you're lying though. So.
Oh God, what'd she say?
She said, "Shut up, Carrie. It was great, and I always feel like oh, it moved. I'm in your living room when you sing. Next time, serve some damn snacks though." That's good. Okay, Ray, I'll serve snacks next time. Make sure you've got plenty of bar peanuts.
Chick Feed's like, I want to hear Moog sing. Carrie, you were great. Yeah, I'm not singing right now.
Yeah, you.
I can sing. I can sing, guys.
I know you can.
I'm not.
We're gonna. I'm have
not
to get
patting
together.
Myself on the back. It's just.
We're going to get together on something. I just have this voice, and I know I've got it. My mother said I always had it. It's kind of this radio thing, and I can fake it singing. But if you're actually here listening, you can tell I'm not carrying a tune worth a damn at all.
I'm
on coffee tonight.
Again. Hold on. Who wants this link? Mike says Mogian, but my email ain't working. Oh, okay. Okay. Damn, dude.
You hadn't figured this out.
I didn't do it.
Look, it only took me a year to figure this out. So
what?
I was so proud of myself just for putting up 3 videos for us to watch.
I was amazed. I don't know how to do that. Well, you told me yesterday, and I have an idea, but I was like, when you said, okay,
it's not as hard as you think.
Hey, I've made it this far on my own. I'm doing something, right?
If you look up at the top of your screen and you see it says StreamYard, and there's a little plus sign there, just hit that plus sign, go to YouTube, whatever video you want to watch, and then come back, go to share screen, and then click on the little screen you want to share, and that's it. If you just do it, you'll get it.
Yeah,
yeah. Daniela told me 10 times, and I was like, huh?
It's like, let me write this down.
And once I did it, I was like, okay, all right, I got it. Shut up. Leave me alone, Danielle. I got this. Danielle's she's fast with it.
This chat's pretty fast. I just saw somebody, Timmy something said passed over again. I missed it. I don't know if we missed a question, but dude, put it out there again. So, and it was Timmy something. Sorry. Oh, there it is. Timmy boy. Ignore it again. What the fuck?
I forget you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you said WTF.
I forget you cuss on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently, the videos on your channel do too now.
Timmy, I didn't mean to ignore you, brother. I swear I didn't. It's just when there's 400 people in there, it goes by so quick. I missed it. And I promise you, I didn't do it on purpose. I wish I would have seen it. And I apologize. What you need to do is email me and ask your question, and I will forego anyone else's whatever and ask yours first.
How's that for service?
There you go. Just because it's you. Nobody else gets that service. Don't even try it. I'm going to have 3,500 emails tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Look, realistically, I go through 60 a day, and not one of them is a story. Please
You
send
know,
me your
I'm
story.
starting to get more emails, but I get to post every time, someone comments on a video or anything like that, I get the email. And so yeah, sorting through them is just starting to be, like a chore.
It's gonna get worse.
Bring it.
It's
I
gonna
don't
get
I don't
worse.
mind.
It's not
I'll
look
figure it out.
really. It's not a bad problem to have unless you have a regular job like you do,
Yeah,
and I
right.
have during the day, and then you have a show you do twice a week like you do, and then it gets to be like, okay, is it time for me to look at emails now? I'll look at them, but I put my phone number out there. I don't know how much of a mistake that is, but not many people call me. They text though, and I get a lot of texts. And
For those of you who don't have
answer
it,
back.
it is no. I'm kidding.
I'll say it on here.
No, it's on your page.
It is, and the reason I don't say it normally is because the phone number could change, and the video is going to be up there forever. So I can just say, hey, go to our website. Plus, it forces people to go to our website, bigfootodyssey.us, by the way. And my phone number is right there. But it's 601-215-0581. I'll say it on here. and
it's legit. I used it
me
today.
Yeah, you and I talk. You and I talk anyway, from time to time. Always message Russell, man. I need your help. Russell's like, shit.
No, man.
Carry again.
Hey,
what is it now?
I'd never turn you down, buddy.
Every time I message you, I was like, I need you. Help me. Well, like I said,
before, good, man. Hey, it's good to have somebody to turn to. And yeah, I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
If you didn't have your own show, I would have had you co-hosting with me on the Late Show. And that's the only reason I didn't is because you had your own. So I got Brad.
And I appreciate that. Says,
I know you do.
That's awesome.
I know you do. But I'm glad you got your own.
Yeah, I'm having fun. Despite
it's my second time on here this week. I think I was on here last night.
2 days. That was it.
Two in a row. I know. I don't want to be a fixture. I really don't. But I have nothing better to do. So here I am. we do have a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm glad I get to come on here and do Bigfoot Odyssey and tell people that we've got some really good information, some good stories coming for you guys to listen to. So I appreciate you having me on here to at least talk about that.
And it's good that more people are coming out with stories. I think it's coming more into mainstream. And people are starting to realize it's still fringe, but it's not as fringe as it used to be. And with this much exposure on YouTube and whatnot, people start to, loosen up and hopefully share their experiences.
Well, our travel show gets watched a lot. It gets hundreds of thousands of views. And I've got, I want you to make me a promo for Mogollon Monster so we can throw that in there. And just so we get the information out there to more people.
Sure.
This is a great place for people to come. And to me, it's better than Bigfoot Odyssey because we have a little bit more of a format information. We don't really get to people as much as we want to in the chat. There's that many. Here, you're getting to the people more.
Well,
it's more personal.
It's for them.
To me. Well, I know it is. But to me, it's more personal. And there's always a lot more going on in the chat than what's going on. That's great. Me too. That's exactly why I'm here, Audrey and Jamie. That is exactly why I'm here, to support Mogs through this ridiculousness, is what I call it. He is a lot nicer about it than I
am. Lynn, I don't know how to get these links to where they can be clicked on. Well, in the email, I mean, if you open it in your computer or on your phone, if you click on the email, if it should be highlighted, it should open for you and bring you to StreamYard. And then from there, you just follow, the directions are real simple. Hopefully, it works for you. Because, yeah, I enjoyed reading your email. This woman she's been all over the world. She's non-military, but she did like 3 tours in Iraq with her dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And I'm just blown away. I want to really get her on and hear more about her. And apparently her grandmother had a paranormal experience I want to hear about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll see Martin. How great is Mark Newbill?
Oh,
How
Mark's
great-
great. I love
How
Mark.
great is that guy? And then I try to tell him every time how much I appreciate him and what he does. I think he brings such validity to the subject. Martin Newbill does. And Brent Thomas, you know, even though Brent's more on the paranormal side, these guys are serious. And when you listen to them, you know they're serious, that they're not trying to parody anything. They're putting out there the information that they get. And Martin Newbill is one of the best researchers out there, period. Stacey Brown was on his show tonight and got nothing on Martin Newbill, period.
So a Whisper to a Scream Cryptids podcast, for you guys who don't know, that is Ryan Tremblay. He says, "Some Logs, are you about all cryptids or just Sasquatch?" No, everything, dude. And it doesn't have to be a cryptid. I mean, is it ghost a cryptid? I don't know what it's
Nice,
categorized, but everything.
I had no idea. I'm glad I got to see that. Email us a promo, Ryan. We'll throw you out there for sure.
And Ryan, if you're coming up, let me know, dude. We're supposed to go camping or do something. Me, Ryan, and Mark Robbins. We're gonna get together. Hopefully next month. They're gonna come up and we'll go out and do some camping and recording, and because Ryan wants it for his new channel. Mark is going to start a channel. He wants to do more Arizona, like outdoors fishing and stuff. And so it's going to be a win-win for everybody if we all go out and get the footage we want.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully Ryan gets up here.
I mentioned Martin Newbill, and I forget about Larry for some reason. I don't know why I do, but Larry Porch and Martin Newbill, they work in tandem. Those guys. I should have mentioned Larry too. He's
I neglect to also, so I'm guilty of that.
Those guys, they're really
Sorry.
something else. I'm so glad they agreed to do the expedition with us, and you're going to be going with us.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let me ask you a few questions about that, if you don't
Sure.
mind. Now, this is the situation. Okay, you're going to be standing on the edge of this canopy, for lack of a better term. That's what they are, of these 6 foot tall date palms, palm fronds. They're like saw blade edges, these stuff to go through. And it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning, dark, and you hear whatever, footsteps, breathing. We're asking you to go in there after that. Are you prepared for that?
Why not? I
That's
mean,
why you're going.
what's the
That's
worst
why
going to
you're going.
happen? I'm going to die. I mean, chances are it's going to run away.
Yeah,
Chances
that's
are.
exactly right.
There's
That's
no guarantee
exactly-
of that.
exactly how I feel about it. But we're not going to get the footage we want unless you go.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting trip, and I'm not Superman. I scare easily, but I'm also not a pussy.
No, I think you're going to do it. And to me, what's as important as anything is the interviews you're going to have to do. You're going to have to come in as soon as you get done with your expedition. You're going to every day you have to come sit down in front of a camera and talk about what happened. That's the show essentially. Is what went on. And then as you're talking about what you went through, we're going to show whatever you filmed along the way. And that's why I think
and it's a good way to do it. Is keep a daily.
Yep, you're going to be very
video
valuable.
diary.
You're going to be very valuable to the expedition.
I might have to
I'm
borrow
glad you're going.
some equipment.
I've got it all already,
Okay.
so all you got to do is show up.
Just a body.
I don't want to say what I spent. The 10 grand we raised plus twice that, 30 grand on stuff that I still have most of. I gave some of it away already, but it's stuff we didn't need. You
give a lot of
overkilled
battery
it.
banks away and stuff, and some other cameras.
Yeah, I had 26 battery banks. So,
Yeah.
and look, I use them every day. They're very handy.
I have one little one that I use occasionally. I charge it, keep it in my backpack.
Well, I'm in West Texas in the middle of nowhere. Even though I have electricity here, whenever I go out, I've got it with me and I can charge my phone.
Excuse me. You know how it's pronounced. Is it Audrey or Audra?
I think it's I think it's Audrey.
Audrey? Okay.
That's what I think. I'm probably butchering the hell out of it.
She says you should take a pouch of sacred native medicines for protection. Well, I will bring a smudge bundle. I do smudge and say a prayer. It's the Lord's Prayer, but, it's prayer. Every time. I didn't do it tonight. I didn't smudge before the shows. Normally I do. My smudge bundle is, almost gone. I have to run over to Sedona and get another one.
Carrie, how do I find your traveling channel? Miss Linda, it's Kerry, just so you know. That could be a spell check thing, but it's our Bigfoot Odyssey channel. If you go to our channel and go to playlists, and you'll see we have 11 documentaries that we've done 12, but 11 of them are in there. Yeah, I got to put the other one in there.
So, Timmy boy, I don't want to address this, but I'm going to, and I'm not even going to read, but I'm going to tell you, if you see it in chat, I don't think anybody's giving him a pass. It's nobody knows shit about it, so they're just letting it go. Okay? It's not worth talking about if nobody knows anything about it. So we're just gonna shut our mouths.
Jennifer Noble asks, Carrie, are your Bigfoot beliefs similar to Mark Zasky? Yeah, pretty much. I tend to lean a little bit more toward the paranormal having something to do with it. So, sorry, not trying to take over your show here, dude.
No, feel free.
Just saw it there. But yeah, we're pretty much along the same lines. They're flesh and blood. We have their flesh and blood samples. They leave tracks. We get pictures of them. As good as we have gotten so far. We're going to get some better stuff though. But I would say, yeah, I think I fall in line. Mark and I fall in line pretty well.
Bring sea salt and burnt cedar. I'll have to put together a medicine bag. I have some Native American friends that are Navajo, and they'll hook me up.
I think it's going to be great having.
And somebody mentioned earlier about what kind of weapon would you bring into the woods. I don't know if it was on mine or on yours. I think it was on yours. And I wouldn't. I don't carry weapons, guys. I mean, I'll might have a machete on me, but there you are. But I don't carry firearms. I have nothing against them.
Larry M says, if I win drone, keep it and dive bomb them with it. We have another one to dive bomb them with, man. You do whatever you want with it if you win it.
Sandy Clemens says, Mokes, will you be live out there? If I can get a signal, I'll go live anywhere. I'm going to bring on Lynn Parsons. Lynn, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hi, Lynn.
Doing great. So glad I got your email. You seem like you've led a pretty interesting life.
Well, parts of it have been interesting and parts of it have been a little scary. And can you hear me? Can't hear me. Hang on.
I can hear you. You're a little low, but I can hear you.
Let me see if I can turn it up some. Maybe that's a little better. Maybe not.
No, you're okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've gosh. I guess I'll start with my grandmother's stories growing up. I grew up hunting and fishing. My grandmother lived in either Caledonia or Steens, Mississippi, Lamar County, Mississippi. So I'd go spend the summers with her. And she would always tell me about a paint.
I was born in Lamar County.
Were you really?
Lumberton.
I have all kinds of family there. My families are McCraw and Barnes.
I know some of those folks for
Are they
sure.
bad? Are they bad or good?
Terrible. No, I'm kidding.
Terrible.
No, no worse than I am, I suppose.
Terrible,
But
Steve.
I was born in Lamar County at
Oh.
11:15 at night on May the 6th, 1973.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So wow. So okay. Well, you totally threw me off track.
I live in
not-
Poplarville.
Cool. I really don't know that much about Mississippi. I was born in Douglasville, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, a little west of Atlanta, and lived all around the Georgia area for a while, Atlanta area, and then I owned a pet grooming business in Tampa, Florida, where I just kind of stumbled onto a missing Alzheimer's patient with my little dogs while I was walking them, and he'd been missing for 2 weeks and was still alive. So he was full Alzheimer's. Like he had no clue where he was at or what he was doing. He was a World War II veteran, and but he knew enough to like hunker down between at a like a fence and in this big bush, and he was getting water from a spigot because it was, I mean, Pinellas County, and Pinellas County is like the most densely populated county in the country. And pardon me, my dogs are wild.
No worries.
Anyway, so I was walking the little dogs. Bush started moving, and I thought it was probably a raccoon. So I started walking up a little closer, and it was a man. It was a human being, and so that got me interested in search and rescue. And I like did a Google search at the time, looked at the nearest search and rescue team, and they required that I be a SARTEC 2, which required basically that I knew I had map reading skills and land nav skills, land navigation skills, rope tying skills, wilderness survival, man tracking, all kinds of different skills. A lot of which, well, the man tracking kind of, because I did grow up hunting and fishing, I knew a little bit about tracking animals. I mean, I'm not expert level, but I could look at a track and know, well, that's a deer or that's a
Oh, sure.
or, right. And I hunted squirrel, and squirrel did me in when I was 13. I couldn't hunt anymore after that. But oh no, they killed the. Oh no, it's okay. They killed the regular TV, not the. Oh, my dogs are messing up my life again, and I'm stoned as a bat, so pardon me.
Good
Did
for
you
you.
say, did you say stoned?
Stoned as a bat.
Stoned as a bat. But
Good for
anyway,
you.
Yeah,
When I retire, I'll be that way too, but I can't do it right now.
It's 420 somewhere.
I'm a cancer survivor, and it's legal in Florida. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome! Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. It's
That's
one
fantastic.
of the perks of
It is.
cancer. So
Surviving it. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so I learned all this crap during the time that I was learning all this crap. I teched for other dog handlers, and I worked behind German Shepherd dog handlers, and I worked behind hounds, and I worked behind golden retrievers and Labrador retrievers and Malinois and just all kinds of different breeds. And I chose a golden retriever.
Nice.
And yeah, but I got picked on, like I put him in. I was training with all the I totally digressed from Mississippi, but I will get back to it. I'm sorry, Carrie.
Hey, look, it's the heartland. You know why
Yeah.
they call it that? Because there's no brains there.
Good. Good. I fit in well here then. Yeah, I have no brain. I'm good at watching a dog's rear end and deciding, which way to go depending on their nose and their tail and, follow them. That's where I'm good at. and remembering stupid facts that nobody else remembers.
Random stuff.
Yes,
I'm great for that.
it's horrible. But anyway, so I teched behind all these different people, ended up with a golden retriever, got totally picked on by people telling me the ears were pointed in the wrong direction and just all kinds of stuff. But
They're great dogs.
they are, and I have a new pup now. His name is Rusty. My old dog was Rudy. Rudy's passed now. I got Rudy. Rudy was born in 2001, and we worked in Ecuador, Panama, Aruba, St. Martin, all over Georgia and Florida, volunteering with different homicide departments, sheriff's departments, and we worked Hurricane Katrina.
You did a lot of big name cases too, like the Holloway case, and
Yeah, I spent 19 days in Aruba and tore a tore a Ford Explorer all to pieces.
oh,
Me and no, we were off
it was an
road.
Explorer.
No, we were off road, and like Melissa Ellis, she was working a oh shoot, what was Sasha? Hog Dog. Can't think of the name right off. It'll come to me. Anyway, so she was working Sasha in Aruba, and and I was there with Rudy, and they had assigned us a Ford Explorer, and they, like the team, the guys on the ATVs and the land guys and the whatnot, they'd mark waypoints on the GPS that seemed of interest, and then we would go with the dogs in the Ford Explorer, which had air conditioning, which is essential to working a dog because a dog does not sweat. So they have to have a dog's nose time, unless they're acclimated to heat very well, can be anywhere from 3 minutes to, I don't know, 30 minutes. Some handlers claim hours at a time, but once their tongue starts spooning and the saliva starts dripping off of it, the blood is diverted from their nose to keeping the body cool. So I think in my opinion, it is kind of futile to work a dog after that point. But so anyway, we're going into these places with this Ford Explorer, and at some point, and I'm driving, and she's like directing me across these ruts, and there were thorns out there that were just massive, that would flatten the tire in a heartbeat. It was crazy. And there's one oh gosh, one fairly of a not reputable, I would say, but fairly well known woman who does a lot of cases and whatnot. Not the one you're probably thinking of, that's really annoying. But anyway, one of them came out, and she didn't make it. She like walked into the thorns, and she got one thorn in the arm, and she was out of there. That was the end of it. But we were like picking thorns out of our boots with our needle nose, because the thorns were just crazy. I've never seen such things, but everything there would poke you, or it was Aruba.
Sounds like Arizona.
Yeah, it's basically Arizona, but it's surrounded by the ocean, and it's very close to Venezuela. So people will come over, and they will come over illegally to Aruba, which is a Dutch-owned island, and they'll live like in the mangroves, and it's called no man's land until they get a job, and they can then do whatever. But that's also an area where, if you don't have any money and you're fairly desperate, bad things happen there.
Sure.
There are like ponds and whatnot that are just steep sided and have cactus walls all the way around them, and people dump garbage in. Like, refrigerators, and I mean, it's crazy. It's such a beautiful island, but these certain areas are just gross. They're contaminated all the heck and back. And
It's not always paradise.
no, not at all. Like we walked into this one area that absolutely had to be a meth place. It was like this shack built in between these rocks, but there was a stove out there, and like big vats and all kinds of. We left fairly quickly. This does not look like. Okay, look, Natalie is not here. We're
Time to go.
yeah, okie doke, we're out. And but they had warned us about homeless people there on the island. They call them charlers, that they would come and try to scratch you or hurt you if you know, which if you wake them up and they're not feeling very well, which I would think if they were sleeping something off, they probably wouldn't be feeling very well when they woke up anyway.
Sure.
So much like walking up on a Sasquatch and poking them, it would probably not end well. Anyway, probably a bad comparison there. But anyway, yes, I worked high profile cases. I looked for lead accords in St. Martin, which is like a half French, half Dutch island. I spent my first international trip was Ecuador, looking for a missing student, and we never found any trace of him. Pretty eye-opening experience for, you know, a Georgia girl,
No doubt.
Southern girl. But anyway, heavy mountains out there. Who knows what really happened to him. I was really kind of his mother. They had like this family heirloom quilt, and she brought that quilt in the hopes of finding her son's bones and gathering his bones into that quilt and bringing him home. And we were not able to do that for her.
You tried though, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was just such a beautiful gesture, you know, and
Absolutely.
And Carrie, you understand the meaning of a quilt and a family quilt and the heritage that comes from a quilt that's been passed down.
I do. I have my mother's.
Yes, I have one my grandmother made me. I have my great grandmother's on. I have them, you know, stored away. I've made 2 quilts in my life, but quilting is not my thing. I can do it, but I would rather not. It's bothersome.
I can knit.
But,
Well, we have a lot more. We have a lot more to turn to these days than they did back then. I think.
yeah.
But I do have my mother's quilt. I've got a couple actually, my grandmother's and a couple of my mother's that I have in a cedar chest actually. That was her cedar chest too. So
very cool, excellent. Yeah, boy, the more anybody talks, the deeper this well gets. I swear. Anyway, so I've done a lot of stuff. I worked in Panama for the Truth Commission of Panama. We were searching for the bodies of political prisoners from the Manuel Noriega time.
Noriega, yeah.
Pretty intense search. We worked on Coiba Island, very dangerous island. There was at the time we landed, we like flew in this Russian aircraft over to this island, and the runway was basically white rocks along on this mountainside, and you landed on in the middle of the white rocks. And there were like 19 prisoners and 30 guards or something or another. It was crazy, but it was the worst of the worst of Panama's prisoners, the cannibals, the whatnot, the ones that were left alive over there.
you know, Lynn, a good friend of mine, Don Hine, was one of the rangers that landed on Noriega's house in '86. I don't know if
very, very cool.
You may know him. I don't know.
Operation what?
Operation Panama.
Yeah.
I went in several years after him. there was during that time frame, they went in to stop Noriega. One of the people we were looking for on Coiba Island was an activist priest, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of his name, but Father Galejo or Gallejo or something like that. Pardon me, my dog's chewing on my fan.
Noriega was just a money man anyway. He was nobody.
Yeah, he was bothersome to our government though, and bothersome to his own people. And
They patsied him. They turned him into the problem that wasn't really the problem.
Correct. They gave him power that he should not have had. It's,
Right.
You know,
He was a general.
yeah, that's man. When we were down there, like some of the people who were lower level soldiers and officers during his time frame were still serving during the time that I was there, and we were looking for skeletal remains. So we were there at the request of the then Panamanian president, who did not win her next election. But yeah, it was like a big, huge can of worms, and it just got deeper and deeper. And I mean, I think a young girl, like a school reporter or something, she was like 16, 17. She was rounded up and killed. I mean, I have pictures of execution walls, and you know exactly what they are because of the spacing of the bullet holes in the wall. You know, there'd be like 3 in one spot, or 4, or like 4 at belly level and 3 at head level. You know, like 2 of the dogs, I think we took 9 dogs if memory serves, and 2 of the dogs, mine was one, actually alerted into the bullet holes. But I wouldn't put a whole lot of, there was a lot of expectation, and a lot of times you can lead your dog, so sometimes, I don't know, there's a lot of energy in that place, and a lot of people that were killed and tortured, and
I bet there's a lot of negative energy there.
yeah.
You know, I think if you went down there now with some equipment, you'd definitely get some kind of paranormal activity going on. I would think.
Oh yeah, Coiba Island, I'm sure, has been investigated. It's like a big, it's a recreational spot now. It's no longer a penal colony. It's like, it's a big fish. Field is one of the last big fish touristy places to fish ocean stuff. So I mean, it's ocean. There's, saltwater crocodiles, and
Right.
on it's jungle, so there's like bushmaster snakes and all kinds of just lovely creatures. Not to mention all the wonderful people who are like, we couldn't go anywhere without a security guard. And at first, my team, one of my other teammates and I were kind of sneaky, and we were taking it very seriously, and we aren't good at being told what we can and can't do. So we thought it was kind of funny to try to sneak away from our Panamanian guards. Not far, just haha. Was not haha. We there was like this. We had gone to lunch one day, and there was this statue, and Sylvia and I walked closer over to the statue. She worked a big German Shepherd named Yosko, and we kind of walked away, and they lost track of us. And I turned around, and there was just this furious man right in my face, and he didn't say a word. He was just staring at me. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But yeah, they had. That was the first time I really had received death threats that,
wow,
as soon as you land, we're going to kill you, kind of thing. And that we had it was this big archaeological expedition, and there was a female archaeologist, and she her family was under guard. She had like her husband and her 2 young kids. They had to be guarded all the time because
Hmm.
there were people there that just did not want certain things being found out. And but anyway, that was a big adventure. And
Well, hey, I tell you what, Lynn Modes, I've got to call it a night. I'm
Yeah.
yawning. I'm
Okay.
so
worries.
tired. It's been a long day. I got a long one tomorrow before the weekend hits.
No, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
And thanks for the support, man.
Oh,
hey, can I tell
absolutely.
you
I
real
got your
quick
back.
about my grandmother's possible cryptid thing in
Oh yeah, you can stick around. I'll be here.
I meant for Carrie, just
Oh.
for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'll hang out.
Right on.
Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
Because it's not very detailed. It's just your basic hate. They lived in a
Hate.
house and
Basic.
would knock on the house. Like the brothers would go upstairs if it was knocking upstairs. And then when they'd go upstairs, the knocking would be downstairs or in the basement or anyway, it was back and forth. And they could hear like a woman screaming and was attracted to the sound of babies crying and would sound like babies crying. So anyway, that's the big cryptid story. No big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, you call it a haunt. I've heard that so many times, especially growing up. It's almost like it's like the grandma go to or the grandpa go to the haunt. Even if it isn't what
Yes.
that, whatever a haunt is, I have no idea. I've heard it so many times though,
Yeah.
but the reference, it almost applies to everything. I think Sasquatch kind of falls into that.
I think
that-
so too. And she would say it would like get on the roof and would walk around. And
Oh, yeah.
try to-
There you go.
Yeah. But it kind of creeps me out a little bit because of the like Dogman stories. And my family were members of Taylor Springs Church. And there's
Oh,
so
wow.
many references to Taylor.
Right. You do hear a lot about Taylor. We actually went through there one time and we talked to a couple of people, but they had no idea what we were talking about.
Ooh.
We didn't talk to a lot of people about it.
All right.
Just
Well, have a good
traveling through.
evening.
Okay, Lynn. Thank you, Russell. Thanks for having me
Oh,
on.
my pleasure, Carrie. Anytime, man. Thanks.
Excellent. Hope to see you guys soon. Be good.
Awesome, you too. Sorry about that, but
Oh, no worries.
I kind of wanted to get that in. I thought.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Are we still here? Should I keep going or?
No, we're here. We're live. No,
Okay,
we're
cool.
good.
All right. So, yeah, gosh, one of my funky missing. There are a couple of missing hunters stories that stick with me, where the hunter was never found, or fisherman. One's a fisherman in Louisville, Georgia, and man, they the law enforcement there rerouted this creek completely. And like one dude, we called him Rambo. He had oh no, I may lose connection. Hang on, I gotta skip my update or I'm gonna lose you.
No worries.
Shit. Oh, come back here. Turn that around. All right. So anyway, yeah. So Louisville, Georgia, like when Rudy was just 10 months old, and I had always been interested in historical searches and archaeological searches. So I did a lot of bone training with him, old bone, and totally legal. You can buy it through boneroom.com or, different sources. It's not.
But human bones.
Yes, sir. But I'm not
Mhm.
digging up graves and grave
No.
robbing or, you can buy like training packets through.
Sure, for the dogs, of course.
I don't want people to think I'm more of a fool than they need to. Anyway, fuck, where was I? I was doing pretty good there for a minute. Totally lost my train of
Nah,
thought.
you're good. You're good. Take your time. Yeah, I just think it's fascinating. I've hunted, and my dad's dog was a yellow lab, and it's just amazing to see a good dog work. You know,
It is, and I mean, because I grew up not hunting extensively, we hunted at the holidays. We weren't, professionals, but I liked hunting dogs. I like the floppy ears, and they'll work for anyone. Like
yeah,
German Shepherds like people think German Shepherds just big tough dogs, and they can be.
I have a shepherd.
Yeah, they can also be really, really sensitive.
Yeah.
When they like their routine. Yeah, I have a shepherd sitting right behind me, Loki, and he's wonderful. He's the perfect protective herding dog, in my opinion. But he's a good boy, so you got to give him props. But anyway, yeah. So I ended up with Rudy just because I liked them. They don't. If I went down, anybody could work him. They all knew his work command, which was seek bones, which later, like working around active searches with family members present, and you say seek bones, made me feel pretty awful.
Sure.
So I put it on a hand signal.
Right on.
So mostly I could just give him the hand signal after that and he would go to work. But if he was like lagging or whatever and I was trying to get him focused, I would get down
verbalize it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you live and learn. That at the time, the team that I first started with, that was their name, their work name for dogs, and you had to do it their way or the highway. And I was on thin ice for having a floppy-eared dog to begin with. Pardon me while I digress. But anyway, I was let's get back to Louisville, Georgia. We were looking for this gentleman. I went back. I mean, there were several searches, and we never could find him. One old boy went into an alligator den with a light. One of the divers. I was horrified. But worked and worked and worked all up this creek until we diverged up the side and located some historical graves. Howell Cobb Sr., who was the father of a former brigadier general of the Civil War, Howell Cobb Jr., blah, blah, blah. They knew his grave was somewhere in the county, but they didn't know where. After that, we knew where that grave was, but we still had not found the gentleman we were searching for, and which is really weird. I mean, it was just a small creek. He was an older gentleman, but not. I mean, he'd fished all his life. He was in his little John boat. If he fell off or was bumped off or something, it would take a while for. I mean, he would have turned up,
Sure.
But he never did. And then there was another search in Green Swamp for a hunter, very experienced hunter, found his truck, marched GPS, but found his orange vest at one point, or found an orange vest that they assumed was his because it was in newish condition, but never found him. And when I was working Rudy, one of the bloodhound handlers there, they had already worked there, so he was basically teching for me and guiding from waypoint to waypoint. We found this wallowed out area, and at first I thought it was where some deer had laid down. I don't know, losing my English for a moment. Laid down. But it was too big. It was huge. So I don't know, but never found that guy. But I don't know. There are stories that always leave you wondering, and especially I did hundreds of searches probably over the years, and you don't always find what you're looking for.
So, Lynn, do you have a website?
I do not.
Okay, somebody was asking in
Nope.
chat.
It's just me. I'm pondering the thought of doing a search and rescue podcast, but I have not reached that level of technology yet. I'm staring at a computer and a whatnot, and, you know, just to get back, because I've been like, after I worked in Iraq, it kind of it messed up my nerves, man, and I couldn't.
Sure.
I had PTSD pretty awful, and by the time I got moved out of South Georgia, where I was not happy, and down to Florida, where I was happy, found out I had cancer, and everything got put aside. So now I am trying to get my feet back under me, be an active and functional human being again.
Sure.
And find that spark. And so I don't
You'll
know.
find it.
Yeah, I'm hoping, maybe. If not, it is what it is. But, you know.
Yeah, I think that would be a good podcast, an SNR.
Yeah, maybe. There's
There's
stories
a lot of people out there that, you know, would love that. I mean, I'd watch it.
right, and there are a lot of there are not a lot of there are not a lot of women at all who have worked with the military in functions that I have, like
being non-military.
Well, even being military, like if you're a female, you're not going to be on a SEAL mission, you know?
No, yeah.
You're unless you're a medic. If you're a medic, yes, but probably not. They did have some programs in Afghanistan where they were pairing women with special forces groups to go into villages and speak to the women to make sure the like one of the vets that I worked with, Dr. Connor, I believe, Dr. O'Connor, I forget her name exactly, but she ended up, instead of, she had a background in veterinary medicine, so she went into that program and was like attached to the special forces groups and would make sure the animals in the villages were vetted. The village, you know, the ones that were cooperating with us, and that
Sure,
you know how all that goes. But anyway, yeah, when I started doing this, there was like one missing guy that we were gonna look for, Matthew Maupin, and over the years, the contract grew, and I mean, I would like to think instrumental in helping the contract grow from that to encompassing missing service members, DOD, employees, contractors, coalition members, all kinds of stuff. There was like
that's huge. That list.
Yeah, there was like one case we were working was called the Russian Four because there were 4 Russian people missing. There was one guy, he was a Japanese man who had grown up, gone into the French Foreign Legion, and just became a basic badass, and was killed in a place called Heat. It's spelled H-I-T, but it's pronounced Heat, in Iraq, which was, you know, very bad area. There was tons of explosives found there, and, you know, the police, like, we worked in that area several times. Just crazy, horrible stuff going on there. Totally lost track of myself again thinking about that particular spot, and I was so close to like, I was working my dog one time. I keep remembering things and they keep flashing, so pardon me while I jump around. So I was working my dog one time, and on the side of the road, and like, school children walk up and down the side of this road all the time, and we're searching for dead bodies, several dead bodies. In particular, this one Japanese dude who would have been among other people that were dead, but he was the one particular person the Japanese government wanted. And so anyway, we're looking for him, and I'm working my dog, and everything's good. And there's a wire sticking up out of the ground, and I just stop. You know,
IED.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And so we pulled out, sat in the MRAP while they brought the robotic bomb thing in. And
Sure.
he did the little bomb robot thing, did his thing, and it at one time had been a connected IED, but was no longer functional. So, but I spotted it, and this was after the bomb dog had ran, and after all this stuff, because we never set foot on an air. Well, there were a few times, but anyway, technically, we were never supposed to set foot on an area that a bomb dog had not covered prior to. Anyway, so it had been covered, and anyway, but things happened, and it was very hot. And anyway, but yeah, there was like the EOD team, like the blast we felt, like the end of every day, the EOD team would gather up all the crap that we walked around and whatnot, and they would have a controlled det. And that first day, at the end of the day, was the controlled detonation was just so huge. I could feel the concussive force go through the organs of my body, you know. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. And next day it was a little less, but like one of the EOD guys came up to me and was like, oh man, you were standing right next to one of these things, and all it would have taken was them to detonate it, and you and your dog both would have been gone. And I was like, oh, thanks for telling me that, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks. I didn't have enough pucker factor going on before that.
Right.
But ignorance is bliss, I tell you. If you don't know the dangers, you're a lot freer with the way you work. And
yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah, it's a scary place, man. But wow, I don't know. I've been talking. Most significant mission was for Michael Scott Spiker. He was a Navy pilot out of Orange Park, Florida, and he was recovered almost 20 years to the day that he went missing. And while I would love to say my dog discovered him, he did not. It was actually the Marine bomb dog that detected the explosive cartridges on his jump harness. And after 20 years, could still smell the, yeah. And so they started looking, and I was still, like, one guy that was there working, he didn't like the conditions and broke down completely and got sent home, and it was horrible. So they sent me back in, and like I was sitting at the getting ready for the what were we flying in? It's a Marine CH-46 Chinook. So I'm sitting.
Oh, the 46? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sitting waiting on. They'd kind of.
That's the Marine.
Yeah, we were in that area. We were. It was Marines, and there had been a group of Marines that had been working, and finally, and one of their guys, or no, my buddy LJ went in. He's like, "Hey, so y'all want to keep doing yada yada?" I don't know. I think they were guarding a gate, or I forget what they were doing. You want to do this, or you want to go look for a missing pilot? And they were like, let's go look for a missing pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, me, 125 Marines, a Navy surgeon, LJ, who was a retired Special Forces guy, and my dog, we're out in the middle of bumfuck Iraq, recovering the bones of a pilot. It was a touching moment, man. He was at one point in the body bag, and nobody else was around, and I kind of put my hand on his skull, on the bump in the body bag that was his skull, and said, "Welcome home."
Right on.
You know, it was. I mean, that's what it was all about. All the years of getting shot at, and having taking mortar attacks and rocket fire and
It's all worth
kinds of
it.
stuff. Yeah, he'd been gone for almost 20 years to the day. He'd been like, they'd had searches in this one prison in Iraq that one of the cells, it was an Iraqi prison, but one of the cells had like MSS. So they thought maybe he had been held there because his name was Michael Scott Spiker. And so they sent cadaver dogs into this prison, which is, kind of dumb because they're, they find evidence, they find bones. So prisons tend to have a lot of blood lying around and ground to the concrete, all that good stuff. So it's like looking for a body in a graveyard, Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna find
you're gonna find it.
Yeah, but I can't tell you.
Not necessarily the right one.
Right, Yeah, there's one search that was really gruesome. We were supposed to find a part in a graveyard, and it was yikes.
And I have to say that, somebody, Iron Dogger just said the families really appreciate the closure, and that's one of the most important things, I think.
Well, there's like one of the cases is just incredible. Major Gilbert, he was a Navy or Marine pilot, I forget which one. We did a bunch of searches for him, and it ended up that like he's the only person that has been buried at Arlington 3 times. Like they'd find a little bit of him here.
Oh, yeah.
Bury him, and then they'd find a little more, and they'd bury that, and finally they got the rest of him. And but they were like the Iraqi sheikhs. They were using it like as a power thing. They were passing to trophy, and they took video and all that propaganda stuff that goes along with war. So it was pretty awful. But that was that was a Navy SEAL mission, which was, they were always fun, but they were always exhausting. And I was a 40-year-old woman going there to begin with.
Wow.
Yeah. So unfortunately I was skinny then, so that helped. I did.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was a crew chief on a 46.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
They're scary. I was used to like flying. I've got this tattoo on my arm. It's of my dog, and I was telling my tattoo artist, he's just incredible, man. And I like showed him a couple of pictures and told him a couple of stories, and now I have this tattoo of my dog with his working harness, with like a airborne or a hush, Rusty, or a Screaming Eagles patch, and he got a sapper tab. Some guy gave him a sapper tab. And so anyway, I got my dog tattooed there, and in the background is FOB Dragon. FOB means Forward Operating Base Dragon. It was so, I was there so long one time that a girl came in. She was a linguist, and I was sitting in the chow hall, which was, it was we had taken over this, it used to be a Russian power plant. And anyway, but I'm sitting there at the chow hall, and a girl walked in, and I couldn't help but stare at her because I hadn't seen another woman in so long. It was just an American woman. I mean, we went on a mission, and I'd give out candy to the kids, and the moms would be, hanging around the household and giving you evil looks.
Sure.
But yeah, it just kind of creeped me out. I was like, okay, I've been here too long. But and if you're like the only girl in an area like that, you have like a specified shower time in the shower tent, and everybody gets pissed off at you because you've got 30 whole minutes.
Uh-huh.
But it's like from 11 o'clock at night till 11:30 at night, and all your missions are like 3 a.m. So I'm like, oh, you bastards. But yeah, good times.
Well,
Man,
right on. I'd love to have you on again. I want to hear some more stories.
cool.
It is late though.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to rambling, and I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, that's perfect. I love people that like to talk.
Good.
Where are you at again?
I'm in
You're in
Cape Coral, Florida,
Florida. Okay.
South Florida. But I'm another project. I'm like, I've talked to Stacy Brown, who is a Bigfoot researcher, but we're kind of on the outs right now. He doesn't like my political views, but that's okay. He'll get over it. We'll get over it. But anyway, so I own this like fishing camp in Sumter, Florida, which is Central Florida, and it's right like I'm right on the water of the little something or another. I'm slipping. My brain is slipping. Anyway,
It's all right.
so
It's all right.
the ground right across the water that is like a wildlife management area.
Sure.
And there have been Bigfoot, like 3 different reports of Bigfoot activity in that area. Rich Loam Wildlife Management is what it's called. So anyway, but I love to fish, and I'm currently in process. I have a functional toilet at the fish camp right now, which is really a big deal. But anyway, so I live in Cape Coral, Florida, which is South Florida, and I own a little place in Central Florida, and am working on a place in North Florida that clearing the land to put like my bug out place in case.
Right on.
So I own Florida.
little prepping, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, Cape Coral, is that, we say it's South Florida? Is that like are you going into the Keys, or are you still on the main?
I'm on the Gulf side of Florida, right
Okay.
next to the Everglades. I'm right across
Gotcha.
from Miami. It's like directly across. I'm Alligator Alley.
Mm-hmm. No, I know where it is. So you're south of like Naples.
North of Naples.
North of Naples. Okay.
Yep, north of Naples, south of Charlotte County.
Okay.
To next county up. But yeah.
Yeah. I'll be going to Florida in the spring sometime. I'm going to head out with Carrie Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey and join them on their expedition. So I'm not sure where in Florida yet, though.
Yeah, I was hoping to join up with Stacy on one of his things a while back, but it did not happen. There's apparently some people at the swamp just north of me. Cancer, chemo stuff kills your brain cells, so it makes communication difficult. You have gaps, chemo brain, basically. So anyway, I lose my words. But
I'm trying to figure out what my excuse is. I've never had chemo. I forget everything.
we just weed brain.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, but yeah, I'm for the most part in South Florida, but travel a little bit.
Now, your fish camp, you're inland fishing, so what are you fishing for?
So far I have caught catfish, and I set a fish trap out and caught some crawfish.
You know,
nothing much. Mostly it's a place to go to build big fires and get
unwind,
stoned, and cook on the fire. My friend LJ, who's my buddy that I met in Iraq, him and I meet there regularly. He's gone from being, super soldier to going to school to learn for the hospitality industry.
All right.
So anyway, his I was trying to hook him up with a friend of mine, but it didn't work out. So he's it is what it is.
You tried.
Yeah, he's my friend, and I love him, and I have to have. But he's my brother more so than my friend. I have to
Sure.
have somebody in this world who I can trust, who isn't looking to scam me for anything, or
Sure.
to, shag a piece of ass, or he's just legitimately likes me and respects me, and
And that's awesome, to have someone in your life like that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we're both single. He's tried to, I don't know, I'm kind of, at this point, I mean, I kind of want to get through my cancer
sure.
treatment because I get, my cancer meds leave me just with a lot of testosterone. So it makes me want to fight. And I never realized being a guy is so fucking hard. God damn it.
Yeah, my nephew is currently battling cancer. He's going through the chemo.
It's man, it's rough stuff. I mean,
Yeah, he spends a lot of time sleeping after his chemo.
yeah, well, you can't for the first day or so because you're all steroided up.
Yeah, but after that, it's like he has his chemo, and then for like 5 days after, like a day or two, he's
feel
out.
Awful, and you're like all your intestines are burned up, and it's bad. And hug him gently, or
Yeah,
throw elbow or whatever it is but extend my deepest wishes that he
Thank you.
completely kicks cancer's ass.
Yeah, he's young. I think he'll be all right. I pray.
Good.
But I am going to say goodnight, and I want to thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for sending me the email. That was really caught my attention, and I'm glad you came on and told some stories.
Yeah.
Does anybody, and before you go, while we're here, does anybody in chat have questions for Lynn?
I don't have my chat open anymore, so you'll have to.
No, I'll read them. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to scroll. It's, and I apologize, guys, if I've been avoiding the chat. I'm just letting people talk. I'm not trying to avoid, but I feel rude when I interrupt somebody. I'm sorry, that wasn't. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions, and that's not a reflection on you. Don't worry. Iron Dogger is also a chemo warrior. And thanks for, she says, sending healing vibes to you, Lynn, from fellow chemo warrior. So that's Iron Dogger sending some love. Thanks. Right on.
Tell him I love his name.
He just did. Well, right on. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions. Let me scroll back down real quick, make sure. And somebody just said, oh, apparently I've gotten over, my subs have gotten over 700. Woohoo. That's awesome.
Do what?
My subs, it's funny. I have this show, and I don't have a lot of subs. I have great subs. I have quality subs, but I just topped 700 tonight. So it's just funny because my show, the ratio of people in chat compared to subscribers is way off. Like, it's outrageous. It's good. So somebody had just posted that I hit 700. So thank you for putting that up there, guys.
Oh, hey, that link I sent you on, it's got a weird name.
The LiDAR?
Yes, sir. Are you familiar with LiDAR at all?
No.
Okay. It is it's used in archaeological stuff, and they've used it to, pardon me, my dog. Russ, shut up, Okay, so it's used in archaeological stuff, and they can use it to look down and see features in the ground. And
Is it like a GPR?
it's better than a GPR. It's
Okay.
like a
Then I do have an idea of what it is.
like a
Okay.
three-dimensional GPR. So it gives you an image of the creature. So what I was sending that to you, they're like using it for bear research to get the dimensions and weight of a bear. It could be done with Sasquatch too. I mean, it would be very, very expensive because it's
How are they measuring it? While it's hibernating, or I mean,
no, while it's in movement,
huh?
like the whole body, like a.
I didn't know it could work that way. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like brand new. They're testing it out, and but anyway, that's the link, and I'll get off here, and I'll quit taking up your time.
No worries, anytime.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Lynn, and we'll get you back on soon, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure, and don't call me sir.
Pardon me.
I'm kidding. Thanks again, hon.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. Oops. Well, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm sorry it's such a late show, guys. I know it's like, what, 11, 12, 1, damn, 2 in the morning on East Coast. Wow. And I got to get up early. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and putting up with me. You guys are awesome. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like, subscribe, share buttons. And Scottish Wildman says, LiDAR can take images, then you're able to remove trees and shows. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm not that familiar with it. But excuse me. So I will say goodnight to everybody, and thank you to all my mods. You guys do a great job. Real Big Rob, Bell, I'm glad you're here. You guys are awesome. You really are. And I love you all, and thanks, for everything. So I will see you guys soon. What's today? Thursday? Yeah. Tuesday. If anything comes up before then, maybe I'll avoid it this time. All right, guys. Peace and God bless.